Hello everyone, welcome back to Backlot Banter. I'm Tanner Dykstra, joined by a very special guest, Trevor Madison. Trevor, thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, hello, hello. Excited to talk about the movies, the pictures, the cinema.
That's right. We are. I would. No one I would rather have on here, aside from my beloved co-host that we usually have on Backlot Banter. But we are here today to talk about the Cannes Film Festival that just wrapped up a couple of days ago. It lasted about a week or so. You may have heard some things, but we're here to recap it for you. And I invited Trevor here because, Trevor, I consider you to be a connoisseur of foreign cinema, of indie cinema, and there's few places where those intersect more than the Cannes Film Festival. Excuse me.
Yes.
I should be getting that correct. The Cannes Film Festival, which just wrapped up.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite film of the year for the last 5 years has premiered at Cannes. So, I mean,
There you go.
It's typically where I find my type of film. So yeah, no, it's always my favorite thing. Just seeing all the reactions come out about it, because usually I find my favorite movie in there. So
yeah, absolutely. And I felt that we were a little bit indentured to cover the Cannes Film Festival. God, I keep slipping up. The Cannes Film Festival here on Backlot Banter, because as viewers of this channel might know, we are regularly and weekly reviewing a Palme d'Or winner, having already done all of the Best Picture winners. We're expanding our horizons to be more international here on the quest for the bestest. There's a playlist on the channel. You can find that if you'd like. But regardless, we're here to talk about the 2024 Cannes Film Festival. We're not going to cover every film, all the 22 films that were in competition this year. I'm mostly today looking to hit the winners and losers, the big headlines that came out of the festival this year around, and maybe look down the pipe and see when, your average moviegoer or your average cinephile who can't fly all the way out to France might be able to see these things.
I wish. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. I wish as well. Maybe sometime in the future. But I guess the logical place to start, and also kind of the alphabetical place to start, would be with the this year's Palme d'Or winner, which was Sean Baker's Anora. Now, Trevor, you're a big fan of Sean Baker's films, is that right?
Very, very big fan. Yeah, he's one of my favorite working today. I love his just very social realist, naturalistic style, and the way that he approaches the subject matter, I think is really, really emotionally intelligent. So yeah, was very excited about Anora, and even more so now that it's the Palme winner. So
yeah, I mean, this is the first American film to win the top prize since 2011 with the Terrence Malick's The Tree of Life. I believe there was an English language winner somewhere in between that time.
I mean, Triangle of Sadness, this is technically.
Oh, yes, thank you.
English,
yeah.
Largely
English, but also some other languages mixed in there. But
yeah.
Trevor, could you recap or sort of give the viewer the plot of Anora, just in a sentence or two, basically?
Ooh, okay. So Anora, basically, my understanding, you got a young stripper sex worker. She's living in New York, and then her boss hooks her up with a Russian client, and then they're gonna get married. But then the Russian family comes to New York, breaks up the wedding. Oh no, it gets crazy, and then they try to force into annulment, and that's all we really know. I mean, yes, please, and thank you,
Yeah,
Sean.
absolutely. I mean, I'm very excited about this. It sounds, in execution and sort of tone, similar to... people have thrown out comparisons to things like Uncut Gems, which gets a lot of people very excited. But for me, having seen The Florida Project and Red Rocket, it sounds very, very Red Rocket of Sean Baker's films to me. Centered on this sex worker, essentially, or someone in that sort of realm of work, and also sort of a zany comedy of errors where they are basically on the run from people trying to get them for some reason. So I'm very excited about this
as well.
What's that?
I can also see some Tangerine energy.
Oh,
that's
sure,
also
yeah,
dealing
yeah.
with a sex worker, and that's very. I mean, I don't know what the time frame of this is, how long the film's taking place, obviously, but with Tangerine, it's just hit after hit after hit of just all of these ridiculous things.
I should get around. I have not seen Tangerine. I should get around to that before
good.
I see
very good.
Before I see Sean Baker's film here. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool that we got basically a comedy Palme d'Or winner. Of course, we had mentioned something like Triangle of Sadness, which was a class satire comedy unto itself, and that seems to be a similar thing here with Anora, but hopefully done with a little bit more tact than Triangle of Sadness. Sorry if you're a fan of Triangle of
I
Sadness.
like
I'm not
Triangle.
really sure what
I
your stance
understand the
there is.
criticisms,
Okay.
though. I understand the criticisms.
Sure.
So,
And this is this was actually brought to the festival by Neon, if I'm not mistaken. So
guess who? Yeah.
Yeah,
Fifth year in a row.
exactly. So this is their 5th year in a row winning the top prize here. And it's interesting that, aside from being acquired at the festival like their other films have been, or many films this year were, which we'll get to, they brought this one to it, which kind of almost seems, I don't know, if you really want to get into, like, does Neon have like a monopoly on the Palme d'Or winner at this point? I'm not really sure if that is something that matters to most people.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting that we have a 5-year run here. I mean, we've never seen anything like that in things that, like, I pay attention to or you pay attention to over on Oscar Buzz, your YouTube channel.
Yes.
Like the Academy Awards. Something like this has never really happened before.
Yeah. No, it's really strange, but, like, it isn't the worst thing in the world. Like, I'm glad that it's happening to a label like Neon rather than, like, if Netflix or, like, Apple was doing this.
Yes.
Like, if we got 5 years in a row of Netflix, we'd be like, come on. But, I mean, the fact that it's Neon, like, I really enjoy all of the 4 previous films, and I'm sure I'll feel the same about this. So, like, as long as the films are good, it isn't something that I'm too concerned about, I suppose.
No, yeah, I get that. And, as many people have been, invoking this conversation already, this being a Neon Palme d'Or winner also automatically brings in the Academy Award conversations here. We've seen, the track record is strong with, Parasite and Triangle of Sadness and Anatomy of a Fall and all these things. Titan was not so much because the Academy might have been a little bit iffy on the subject matter
right
there.
back here. Yeah.
There you go. But this seems very more in line with what they might enjoy rather than, Titan. But I don't know. I don't know if you engage in a lot of, like, super early Oscar speculation, but are we feeling like a Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress kind of run going on here?
I mean, I would be surprised if this didn't at least get, like, screenplay, director, actress, and you'd assume if that happened, then you get picture. I mean, Neon gets its movies in, right? Like, I can't remember the last time Neon missed picture when they had, like, a strong contender, especially something from Cannes. I think 2021, did they get any? I don't remember, because obviously Teton missed, and I know Spencer, but whatever. Typically, Neon's very, very strong, right? I mean, we saw that last year, we saw that the year before. So I'd be shocked if a Palme winner, especially English language from Sean Baker, didn't get picture. You'd assume director could come along, screenplay, actress. People have talked about editing because that would mean Sean Baker would get nominated 4 times for the same film.
Did he edit this film?
He edited it as well. Yeah.
Wow.
So
there you go.
that could potentially be that could potentially be a 4-in-1 for him. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be below the line. And also it comes into the question, like, is Maggie Madison, like, is she going to get a lead actress nom? I don't know if she's there in her career necessarily, but I think we'll get 2 at least, if not 3 nominations for Sean Baker. So.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, and they'll probably, there's been people making jokes at Neon's expense online where it's like, wow, Anora's getting some really great buzz. It seems like it's a great film. I can't wait to see it maybe in November or maybe in February.
Yeah. Or like April or June or
whatever.
Exactly.
Like, but, I mean, I presume that they'll do a similar sort of award season rollout for this, since this is seeming to, like, basically just be lining up right with their game plan. They get the Palme d'Or winner, they roll it out over the fall award season, they get some nominations, bada bing, bada boom.
Yep.
I mean, I'm very excited for this. Like I said, I'm also a fan of Sean Baker's work, having not seen Tangerine, but really enjoying Red Rocket and enjoying Florida Project. So excited for this one. I also want to pat myself on the back a little bit. When the Cannes Film Festival was starting up, I said I would predict either Bird or Anora to win, and there we go, 50-50 shot. So
I think nobody fact checked me, but I'm pretty sure I said Anora as well. There is a video if you want to watch it, but I'm too lazy to go and do so. But I'm just gonna say I did because I think I did. Sure, so I'm right.
We can go down the line here of the of the rest of the the first, second, and third prize here at the Cannes Film Festival. I don't have as much to say about this next one, which is All We Imagine as Light. This is an Indian film following some. It looks like here it's a story of a number of nurses as they sort of experience some hardships in their life. They've been abandoned by partners or families or what have you. And this is a very much a beloved film. I think maybe the highest Metacritic score of the festival.
I think it did.
It's a 93 out of 100. Yeah. So I don't know a whole lot about this one. It was on my list when I was just scrolling through. It was on my list of ones that I had noted here. But I don't know, Trevor, is there anything that you've heard particularly about this film that we should be noting?
I'm very excited for it. The premise really intrigues me. I regrettably have not seen her only previous work in Night of Knowing Nothing, but it's a documentary. It seems like this kind of like experimental take, like getting letters from somebody, and I know it seems very, very fascinating. I really, really want to see it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued by the director's work a lot. I mean, with all of the buzz and all of the praise about it and everything that I've heard about her last film, like. Yeah, I mean, I think that this could be up there with some of my favorites of the year if it lives up to the hype that I at least have for it.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. If we want to talk Oscar run here again, I mean, I could, yeah. It's India. It could go an international feature, but I don't know. I've been burned by India's ability to pick their submission ever since they fumbled the bag on picking RRR a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
I mean that was an easy nomination, potentially even a win for you. I mean, you'd have to go up against All Quiet on the Western Front, but I digress.
Yeah,
I don't know. It seems good. I mean, I'm sure the critics are right about this one. It seems like a slam dunk here in terms of this very international, very heartfelt story. But yeah. You got the second place here, so we'll see how it goes. Sure. Third place went to a film that did get some distribution news here and has some stars in it that are notable to an American audience, and that is Emilia Perez. This is from a director, Jacques Audiard, and aforementioned stars include Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez.
Yeah. Can Best Actress winner Selena Gomez is a real
and Zoe
thing.
Saldana.
Yeah. I mean, somehow like Selena Gomez got a Can Best Actress before she got an Emmy nomination for like. It's wild.
It's super crazy to me to think about that. People our age know her from like fucking Wizards of Waverly Place. And here she is at the most prestigious film festival in the world being awarded a Best Actress prize. One of four, I should note. This was a four-way split, or more of like an ensemble, like an actress ensemble award that was awarded to, I can get the rest of the names here, but it was Zoe Saldana, Selena Gomez, and then two foreign
Carla
stars
Sofia
as well.
Garcon is one, I know. And then I'm also, I think Adriana Paz is the last one.
Sure, that sounds right, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So, yeah.
Selena Gomez. I mean, this seems like, the description of this movie also seems to be running a bit of a gamut. There's a lot of concept going on here. This is the story. First of all, the genre is described as a musical. I'm not sure to what degree that is true, but it is also following a cartel leader who has to get away from some heat, from some police or rival gang action, and in doing so decides to transition to become a woman. Yeah. So a lot of different concept going on here.
This could easily be handled very, very poorly.
Yes. So there's a lot of balls to juggle, to be clear, with this. And this is a Netflix film. They bought this one out of the Cannes Festival. So we'll be seeing that on Netflix at some point, probably around December, I would assume.
Yeah, it seemed kind of polarizing. Like I think it was at like a 70 on Metacritic the last time I checked, and it was like some that were very strong and some that were very low, and it just kind of seemed to balance out there. So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I could see myself being like very strongly either direction with this one.
Yeah, no. This was also one of the presumed favorites to win Palme d'Or, and ended up getting third place. So there you go, and getting its like ensemble actress award there too. So no slouch here. Netflix picked this one up. So if we want to talk awards for all of these, it seems a little bit too high concept for the Oscars. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
you know?
I'd be surprised if this got anything. I mean, I don't really know what Netflix has, to be honest, for this year.
I'm not sure either.
Like
I'm sure they'll be looking to acquire some more things at forthcoming festivals.
Like I'm assuming that TIFF is just they're going to go heavy because like like usually going into the year there's at least like one that's kind of on the forefront for them. So interesting kind of how they seem to be light. So maybe just building a broader lineup for this year. So
yeah. Oh, since we mentioned the Best Actress awards there, so we should go across here to a film that people will be able to see very soon. We've been talking about, maybe the studio will put this out this winter or this fall or whatever. This you can see in less than a month, and that is Yorgos Lanthimos' follow-up film to Poor Things, Kinds of Kindness, coming to theaters June 21st from Searchlight.
Straight away.
And I invoked the Best Actor in there because they did award Best Actor to Jesse Plemons in this film, which is very interesting.
I mean, I just think it's like a lot of general goodwill towards Plemons, which like he deserves it. Yeah. I think everybody loves him.
He's the best of us.
Jesse Plemons is just the guy, like who come on. So. Yeah, no, it's interesting that it's an anthology, and it seems like the cast is, like, the entire cast is going from anthology, like, piece to anthology piece.
So which is why I was so surprised, because in the immediate aftermath of Poor Things, Oscar wins and Oscar success, people were like, whoa, should we be on the lookout for Kinds of Kindness here? And the immediate reaction to that is, well, it's an anthology film. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But, like, I don't know. If anyone can break that curse, it's probably Yorgos Lanthimos coming off of his most, like, prestigious and, being embraced by the Oscars
I do think that the summer date will hurt it a bit with the worst.
Yeah, that's a fair point, too.
Unless it's, like, a massive, massive hit, which, considering it's a limited release, the Metacritic was in the 70s. I'm not necessarily sure that will happen, but I mean, regardless, I'm still very excited. I love the cast. I've been loving the weird ass posters that they've been doing with the faces.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I've heard it's very like abrasive to the audience, kind of harkening back to some of his early work, like Dogtooth.
I mean, that's another reason why people have been sort of doubting an Oscar run, is that it's more Killing of a Sacred Deer and less Poor Things or The Favorite. It is a bit more alienating in tone and in structure.
Which I'm down for because that's my favorite type of Yorgos.
Totally.
Like, that's what I love.
And he's bringing in, like, I love to see these new people being brought into the rotation. I mean, Margaret Qualley's here, having just appeared in Poor Things, but also you're getting some folks like Hunter Schafer is showing up in this one. Hong Chow I'm very excited about. Mamoudou Athie.
Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend.
Joe Alwyn, of course. Yeah, I mean, and then you have some of the regulars, like Emma Stone is obviously a big part here.
Defoe.
Jesse Plemons has not been in the Yorgos film before. He's not. Right?
I think this is his first. I think.
Yeah. This is first. He just feels, he's just
everywhere.
He just fits so well. He just fits so well in the corral there. But it's also not like, it's not like for people in the know with this one. It's not like they'll have to wait a long time for another Yorgos film. He's got like 3 more on the horizon, and Emma Stone is in all of them. So
he is just kind of becoming like a Wes Anderson type. To be like where he just does have his rotating cast. He makes like 3 films a year. Like, I don't know. I'm loving it. I mean, the more Yorgos
it's a good spot to be in if you're a big Yorgos fan. That he's just pumping one out at this point, like every year or maybe every other year.
Yeah.
His one after this is about like a plot to kidnap like a mayor or a governor or something, and Jesse Plemons is in it and Emma Stone is in it. It sounds cool. Sounds like a great time. I'm very much looking forward to Kinds of Kindness, in all of its 3-hour glory.
Yeah. That's the other thing. 3 hours is wild, but I'm here for it.
So let's just do it. Let's talk about the big kahuna of the festival that didn't actually end up winning anything, but had a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis.
Yeah. So, and this is one that we do have a trailer for. I think it's the only one aside from Kind of Kindness that we do actually have a trailer for. Not the biggest fan. of the trailer.
Okay.
I don't know. I like the little teaser of Adam Driver on the roof.
Yeah,
But
they dropped that like a few days, maybe like a week before the premiere.
Yeah.
And yeah, the full trailer came afterwards. And I'll be honest, I'll lay it out. I'm a fan of both. I'm very, very excited for this film. I think it looks cool, and all of the reactions from this is a mess but I love it versus this is a mess and I hate it just galvanize me to be more excited. Basically, that's how I'm feeling about this. How are you feeling about it?
I'm curious because like people have been throwing around like, oh my god, it's gonna be Babylon, and it's just like because like
yes,
I Babylon's one of my favorite movies of the decade.
I like Babylon a lot. I like Babylon a lot.
I adore that thing. With this though, like it seems like a lot, and with what we saw from the trailers, I don't know, the visuals looked kind of tacky to me. I still don't entirely know.
I can understand that.
What
I mean, I think it looks cool, and obviously there are people who saw the entire film and not the cherry-picked sections that were probably done up a lot more, that were like, hey, some of the visual effects are not very good. We know that there's been probably more than any film that maybe has ever premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, at least in recent memory. There's been a lot of behind-the-scenes production history reporting on this. I mean, this has been in production, in development, whatever you want to say, for better part of 40 years, probably.
Yeah.
But as the film was actually being done, there was these stories of Francis Ford Coppola laying off the entire visual effects team and doing away with more updated LED screens for visual effects backgrounds and bringing in old school green screens. So will there
kissing
be a mix
female
of
extras
both?
to get them in the mood?
Yes, that is the element of his production that I cannot defend and I will not defend. But as long as my thing is like, as long as everyone was getting paid, who minds if you had to like spend a whole day pointing a projector at Adam Driver's head,
Okay.
Agree to disagree.
It might be a little bit up there. I don't know. Regardless, I'm happy that he's finally getting this made. I think it's always good to see filmmakers. We were just talking about beforehand how people like John Waters and David Lynch are struggling to get things financed right now, which is really, really sad because they're legends.
And not even like this is a departure from what we're, but not even like art house directors like Waters and Lynch. Catherine Bigelow just had one of her movies scrapped by Netflix. It's not like she's not like an auteur who's making a super audacious, completely inaccessible film. She made like Point Break and The Hurt Locker.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, it is sad. So, if Mans wants to sell wine and fucking dump $120 million into a movie that might not ever get released, and I don't know how that's going to happen because still no U.S. distribution.
We should probably talk about that.
But I'm happy for him. These types of things should happen, whether I like it or not. So
yeah. Well, most of these things should happen. Again, the kissing the female extras on set should not be happening. Let's be completely clear here.
Yeah.
Bad stuff. So on the distribution front, this still has no American distribution. Was it? I think it was got to be like 2 months ago now. This premiered for the Hollywood elite, some producers, some studio heads, and stuff like that. And they were all like, "No way, buddy, not happening. We are not buying this, and we're not coming near this movie with a 10-foot pole." And so, I had mentioned at the top of this video wanting to like highlight the big winners and losers. I think Francis Ford Coppola's kind of got to be a big loser of the festival. I mean, as much as he might say it's not the case, and in his speech he railed against the American studio system and what it's become today, but obviously,
just a dumbass move if you're trying to sell a movie,
100%.
for $100 million. What are you doing?
Anyway, he's 85 years old. He seemingly does and does not give a shit at the same time.
I don't know if he has any shits to give. I don't understand. I don't understand.
So I mean, as much as he might protest against it, part of the motive for bringing this to Cannes was to get American distribution for it. Get some critical eyes on it. You don't want these business types looking at it. You want are the audiences gonna like this? Is this an awards player? That was like kind of your last ditch effort to get American distribution, and the resounding answer seemed to be no, not really. Super divisive. What does this have on Metacritic?
Like
I was gonna look at this.
A 30 or so, I don't know. It's low.
Right now it says 58. So we've risen to above half.
Yeah.
But it was not looking good when it first dropped.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. It'll be
because supposedly there's an IMAX agreement, but
yes,
you need a
for
distributor
like end of September is what I've heard. There's a global IMAX release planned, including like 20 U.S. cities at the end of September. Is that written in stone? Is that reliant on getting an actual studio behind this? It's not really clear.
Like, listen, he could probably sell this movie pretty easily. It would just have to be for like half of what he wants. Like, he's not going to be making. He's not going to be making a profit off. He's not going to make money back on this. He's got to hope that like if he sells this for like 40, 50 million, and then like, get some sort of like big box office push, because like, I don't know, like it's just. If he wants to be stubborn and hold out, like, we're just never going to see this movie, I guess, because it's not getting sold for over 100 mil. It's just not.
Yeah, that's the really unfortunate thing. The normalist in me, I guess, if you want to say, would be like, yeah, it'll come out, obviously. But like, with the way things are going, we just invoked a couple names there, a couple recent headlines about directors and studios and things like that. That could be the case where we just
if he stays stubborn, then yeah.
I mean. It would be even stranger because we've been saying this film has no American distribution. It's been acquired by, I think, Le Pacte in France and like a bunch of other European countries. This film is going to be debuting in Australia. It has an Australian distributor. Basically, any major market except for America has a deal to put this film out. And it's so strange. Super strange.
I mean, I don't know. You got like all of us from me, you, Tucker, Thomas, Jackie. We can like put together some money to fly to Australia, I guess. Like
that's right. We'll just go all the way. We'll go to the whatever country is the farthest away.
The furthest possible away. Yeah. And then we'll make a YouTube video about it. And we flew to Australia to see a shit movie.
The movie the American studios don't want you to see.
We got past the woke liberal to see the movie they are keeping from you.
That's right. Well, is there anything else you have to say about Megalopolis?
I feel like you're going to transition into something.
Yeah, I mean, you said the words woke and liberal, and my brain immediately made the connection, the segue there. Let's talk about The Apprentice.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, The Apprentice.
Oh, really? I thought you were going to talk about film. Canada.
Oh, well. I mean, hey, we got a couple of those guys floating around Cannes this time of year. But no, I want to talk about The Apprentice. The other big headline-y kind of thing to come out of Cannes this year. This is the Donald Trump biopic covering basically his early life, young adult life in New York in the 1970s. Big thing is that the Trump campaign has issued a cease and desist letter to the team behind this. It has no distributor yet, which is, that cease and desist is a factor, certainly. But also, I think, if you're a Hollywood studio and you want some free publicity, get Donald Trump to fucking say he hates this movie at every press conference and rally he goes to.
Like, I now have two things. Okay, if I want my movie to get eyes on it, I'm going to do two things. Get Diane Warren to make a song and say some shit about Donald Trump. Those are my two options, all right? Like, that's to be honest, that's what Coppola should have done. Just get Diane Warren and say some shit about Trump.
His movie might be about Trump. If you listen to some people, he's like, it's kind of about that. But regardless, so this film also was not received very well at Cannes, by critics at least. I can pull up the Metacritic here.
It's like a low 60.
But The Apprentice, has a 61 right now.
Yeah.
But also on, there's that critics ballot that a lot of people were posting on Twitter. I was going to look at that here. Yeah, it got a 1.7 out of 4 on the critics ballot.
Not great.
Not good. A lot of people I heard were objecting to some extreme scenes here, which includes a scene where Donald Trump rapes his then wife, Ivana Trump, portrayed by Maria Bakalova. Trump, I should note, is played by Sebastian Stan here. Yep. So it's unclear if that movie, if that scene will make the cut of this when it gets distribution. There's no company attached to this, as I had mentioned. But I can't imagine that studio heads or whoever aren't looking at this and being like, we gotta put this out in November of this year.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, what's gonna happen is somebody's gonna get shot at a movie theater and then it's gonna cut.
I mean,
so I don't want to put that out there. I don't want to put that out into the world, but I feel like something like that will happen depending on election results, and then it's just going to cause more this movie's going to be a fucking shitstorm when it comes out. It'll be bad.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to make light of real political tensions in the world, however, being like, well, how does this impact the Oscar race? But you got to think if you do put it out and make it the hot button movie, that's guaranteeing you some awards attention, I would have to imagine. Yeah. All this movie has to be is pretty decent to get
Vice.
Into
Best Picture.
Vice. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. It just has to be pretty. It has to be not awful, and then it'll get in to a bunch of places.
Because again, people will see it literally based off of just the fact that Trump is suing it. And what was the? I saw a tweet that was just in 2014 when studios were it is your moral duty as an American to go see The Conversation with Seth Rogen or whatever the fuck that movie was.
Yeah. The interview. That's right.
Yes, yeah.
Because it was the North Korea hack on Sony and everything, and
they're gonna do the exact same thing with this. It is your moral imperative duty as an American to go watch. I love I'm saying this with a USA soccer jersey on, but it's your moral imperative duty as an American to go and watch The Apprentice and see all the bad, evil things Trump has done. And it's just listen, right. I'm no fan of Trump.
See how Donald became Trump.
That's just not, see how the duck turned Trump. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a lot. I know when I was talking about this with Thomas, so Studio Canal has distribution in the UK who often are linked with Focus. I don't know if
this feels like a Focus Features film.
It feels like a Focus Features film. So I don't know.
And they always kind of get one into the Oscars, right? One in the Best Picture. So I think we found our one.
If that's the case, I wouldn't be shocked. I've heard that Jeremy Strong's actually the standout. So if the eldest boy could get some attention, would love that.
Please.
Please. So it's gonna be an interesting one. I'm just scared for when this movie comes out.
Yeah, I
know they want to put it out
a great point.
Week of election probably, and I just don't think that that's going to be smart for anybody involved.
You bring up a great point of there being the possibility for this becoming a true flashpoint kind of thing for his supporters and for people attacking others either verbally or hopefully
it's fighting fire with fire if you put it
listen, certainly
I'll tell you, I'll be watching the fucking HD cam rip of it that weekend. I am going to theater
for sure. That is perhaps the most safe and ethical way to go see see this film if you must. Okay. I think we hit the two big hot points of being The Apprentice and Megalopolis there. You want to talk about Canada? So we had quickly mentioned this is sure. Paul Schrader's new film that was there, starring Jacob Elordi and Richard Gere. It's a draft dodging 1970s kind of set film. I don't know. It wasn't received very well. Paul Schrader he just keeps pumping these things out, and I see him.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. This is his first time reuniting with the novelist who did Mishima. And this is also his first project after his pretentious the Interiority of Man or whatever it was called trilogy.
The Lonely Man trilogy.
Yes, that one. Yeah. which was First Reformed, Card Counter, and Master Gardener. Only one of those is good, and it's the first one. But like, I still appreciated the second two because they're just Paul Schrader just has like a vibe.
I like the Card Counter.
That's
and
fair.
Master Gardener is.
It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. There's some moments.
There's a descending quality. To them, for sure.
So, but like, I don't know. I really like Paul Schrader's vibe, and just like his films always just feel stuck in like the early 70s American new wave. Like it feels like he never mentally left that.
In many ways, that is where Paul Schrader is stuck as a man.
And like, it isn't always good, but I'm always down for just that vibe. So I don't know. I'm excited for it. I like Jacob Elordi for more reasons than one. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. That one got like a 1.8 from the
it was not good.
on the critic thing. And I'm gonna see what the Metacritic's sitting at right now. I can't find it on this page. Whatever.
60s, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Didn't go over super well. What else here? Just quickly, A24, their major acquisition from the festival was Parthenope or Parnithope or Parthenethanope. I get the letters jumbled up. But this is like this is an Italian film.
It's the new Sorrentino film.
Yes,
coming off of The Hand of God, I think was the most previous.
Yeah. That got an Oscar nomination a few years back. So
also
they're
did,
hoping for something similar.
The Great Beauty as well, which is pretty good. Earlier in the 2010s. So yeah, I mean he isn't my favorite filmmaker. This seemed to have a pretty tepid response. So I'll still watch it because it's Sorrentino, but it's not anything. Wasn't high on my list beforehand, and this didn't change much. So
yeah, it got a 1.6 out of 4 from critics at the festival. Gary Oldman pops up for like a scene in it apparently, so that's pretty neat.
Just as he seems to do now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're Gary Oldman, you're just completing, just doing side quests at this point, and that's just fine. Let's do a Cronenberg corner here real quick. So we'll start with the actual Cronenberg film that came out, and that was The Shrouds, his newest film, which the biggest thing I heard of that was him being like, these stupid critics are misunderstanding my movie. Which is pretty cool.
They probably did. They probably did. Cronenberg's smarter than all your dumbasses.
Hey, you gotta be nice to the critics. They had seen probably 15, 20 movies there at that point. Their brains are fried.
I've had festival weeks where I think at Sundance this last year, I think I watched 29 movies in 6 days. So
yeah, I mean
it's a lot. I get it. I'm here for it. This is kind of how you were saying with Megalopolis, how all of the negative stuff just kind of got you more excited. This is how I feel about this. I'm a massive Cronenberg fan. I think Crimes of the Future is brilliant, one of the best of the decade. Just love everything that man touches. I refer to myself as a Cronen babe, as we all do, and as we all should.
For sure.
I'm very here for it. It just seems really weird and offbeat, as you'd expect from a Cronenberg. Very introspective, dealing with the loss of his wife. Kind of everything that I wanted from this. So I don't really. This could have gotten a 12 on Metacritic, and I would still be excited for it. So
I mean, it got a 2.7 from the critics there, and I'm super looking forward to this one as well. It's about in a world where you can commune with the dead via a screen that is implanted on every gravestone in the world or whatever. So yes, very much engaging.
How could you not hear
the grief of that? Yeah.
I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped.
And I dubbed this the Cronenberg Corner. Also, it doesn't have distribution at this point. Who put out Crimes of the Future a few years ago?
That was Neon. That was Neon.
Neon? Okay. Well, they might have their hands full here already.
Yeah.
But I call this the Cronenberg Corner because the substance is very much maybe a feminist sort of take on Cronenberg, though there is some contention on how feminist is the movie really, and that
I saw some dissenting opinions,
discourse there, but this is a film starring Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley and also Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Interesting. This is, it's about the modeling industry in a, near future world where basically you can get like a de-aging procedure done. Is that right? Or you can consume some sort of substance that de-ages your body, and then there's body horror elements to that, of course.
Generally what I got. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for it. This was the screenplay winner as well.
Yeah.
And Caroline Farjat, which is just how I'm gonna say her name.
Yeah.
Made one previous film, Revenge. I actually watched it during the festival after the reaction to this, and it's pretty fun. Not entirely my thing, but it's definitely fun for what it is. Just like a very very bloody like rape revenge tale that deals with body horror in a lot of ways.
I do recognize that name now. Yeah, it's in like the I spit on your grave kind of lineage there.
Yes, yeah. So no, I'm very excited for this.
I think there's like a teaser out for this too.
I think
there's like a teaser that's like the substance. What is it? I don't know. This is Mubi picked this one up. I think it is getting probably very limited distribution starting on September 20th apparently. So that'll be rolling out. You might be able to see that come like mid-October, let's say.
For sure. But yeah,
or you can see it on the Mubi streaming service.
Yeah. Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, not sponsored, and Dennis Quaid, as you said, like very interesting dynamic there. Very curious to see how that plays out. Excited to see Margaret Qualley and more stuff though.
I agree.
So yeah, I don't know, just more curious than anything. But I mean, as I mentioned with my love of Cronenberg and my baby Teton, I'm a very big fan of body horror. So I'm happy for anything to come out of the genre with this level of acclaim.
All right. A couple quick last ones here before as we wrap up. I wanted to shout out one of the more interesting stories, like making of stories to come out of the festival, which was The Seed of the Sacred Fig. This is an Iranian film, and the director of it escaped imprisonment in Iran to come to the Cannes Film Festival. This film is he was put in prison because of the making and the content of this film, which is very against the regime in Iran right now. I believe uses real footage of protests that were happening not too long ago, and they weren't big fans of that over there, so they put him in prison for it. And then he got out and showed this film at the festival. Very super cool story.
Yeah, got a special prize. I honestly thought that this could have won the Palme after hearing everything during the festival. I was thinking that could happen, but no. I mean, really excited for it though, based off of everything that I've heard, the level of acclaim behind it. It seems very dense, very political, very my type of thing. But more than anything, I mean, just happy for him that he was able to get out of that. Like that's yes. Yeah. Insane.
Now, this to me would seem like a shoe-in for a kind of an Oscars push, but if this is not exactly celebrated by the country,
I mean, Iran ain't submitting this shit. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, but I mean, I will be definitely wanting to watch this film. It got some strong recommendations, some strong lauding from critics at the festival. So I'm super looking forward to that one. Last one I really wanted to mention was Bird from Andrea Arnold.
Yes.
This is a film starring Barry Keoghan and Franz Rogowski. And for me, like I kind of mentioned, one of the two before the festival that I was like, kind of one of these. Andrea Arnold has had a lot of films be celebrated and lauded at the festival already. Has never gotten the Palme d'Or win, so I thought this could do it. But this got very good reviews regardless.
Yeah, no, reviews seem strong. And honestly, a lot of the praise seems to be centered around the titular. Not the titular. The titular is Franz Rogowski. Sorry, these names are very weird. Franz Rogowski's Bird, Barry Keoghan's Bug. But it seems like the lead of it almost is a newcomer, Nakia Adams, as Bailey, which Andrea Arnold is known for doing. She did this with Fish Tank, just like found a girl. Actually, a story behind that's kind of fun. It was just this girl. She was arguing with her boyfriend at like a train stop. And then Andrea Arnold just found her and then cast her because she liked the way that she was arguing. So like she's known for taking this, I mean, obviously very social realist approach to things. So very excited and also gay. So like sure, but I mean, massive fan of Andrea Arnold. So anything she makes, I will consume.
That's right. This is a Mubi one as well. No release date for it currently, but we'll probably. We'll see what they.
And Robbie Ryan shot. Robbie Ryan cinematography as well.
Oh, right on. Would I know anything that he's done? The name is not familiar to me.
Poor Things last year.
Oh, well, okay, well, there you go.
So, yeah, worked with Baumbach, Lanthimos,
Nice,
Mike Mills.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, there you have it. Obviously, a lot more films that premiered there. Some that were reviled, some that were really adored at the festival. So, but I think we kind of hit all the big ones there. You know, obviously the big winners I would say were things like Anora, obviously the Palme d'Or winner there, and even something like the seed in the Sacred Fig, for example, got a huge push, a lot of applause there
Oh, imagine
for the film itself and also the making
as
of.
one of the biggest winners.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then, you know, some losers, like, or some yet-to-be winners. Let's frame it positively, like Francis Ford Coppola, and plenty of controversy to go around with The Apprentice or Megalopolis, or to a lesser extent things like what are they? The Substance.
The Substance,
was on this as well. So. Very excited to see all these films. Trevor,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining me. You know,
sure.
I'd like you to go ahead and plug your YouTube channel because you guys do some great work over there.
Yeah, it's called Oscar Buzz. We talk about films. We do like director conversations and things, and also award stuff. We also have a thing about Cannes up there. We're going to be having a review for Furiosa coming up, which. See how that goes.
Yeah, you weren't. Well, we don't. I didn't
like it that much. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But
I just rewatched it this afternoon. Still really enjoyed it. So
I wish that could be me.
That's fair.
But yeah, so lots of things over there. But it's called Oscar Buzz if you want to.
Yeah, I'll link it in the description. I think there's also a thing where you can like @, somebody in the title of your video.
Ooh.
I'll see if I can do that as well.
I'm bad at YouTube,
but
so
regardless, that's all right. We're all learning here. We're all doing our best.
We're all yet to be winners, right? Yeah,
that's right. We are all yet to be winners in the YouTube game. But Trevor, thank you so much for joining me.
For sure.
You should go subscribe to Oscar Buzz, dear viewer. They do great work over there. That'll be somehow you can find them from this video, but. Thank you so much. We will be, doing a review here on the Quest for the Bestest of Anora when we can finally get our eyes on this thing. Mm-hmm. And we'll be doing plenty of other movie reviews and discussions before that. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching.